There we go. All right, everyone. Thank you. Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. What I'm going to talk about today is self-care through self-compassion. So, self-care is kind of a result of self-compassion, basically. And I'm going to talk about how to treat yourself as you would a best friend. All right. So let's get going with that. I can get this little bar, the little toolbar gets in my way. One moment. I hear that yawn. I'm so sorry, but let's get to here we go. Okay, guys, I thought I was all ready to go. I'm very sorry about this. Recent. There we go. Okay. I'm having a little internet trouble, so please bear with me. Does everyone have a piece of paper and a pen or a pencil? You're going to need that just to write down a few things. I'm waiting for my Google to work.
Joyce, we can give you a minute to work on that. If any of you want to share either out loud or in the chat what the best thing has been for you so far over the last 2 days, something like that, we'd be happy to hear it. I know we have some talkers who've been with us. Maybe not the best thing, but something you learned.
It's working now.
Yay!
But go ahead and share.
By the bell, Joyce. Thank you.
Aw, okay. So yes, how to treat yourself as you would a best friend is really what I'm going to talk about today, along with why that matters for your career. Okay. So.
Hey. Is that Ayla?
That's Layla.
Oh.
Can you unlock the door?
All right. So this workshop is based.
My friend Charlie went there.
Can we get everybody to mute, please?
What are you listening to? Hang
on. All right. This workshop is based on the works of authors and researchers Brene Brown and Kristin Neff. And I know. So how many of you, I would love for you just to shout it out audibly. How many of you have heard of Brene Brown, first of all? Yeah. Good. Yeah. She's awesome. She's a great speaker, author, researcher. She has wonderful content to share. So I would highly encourage all of you in this workshop today to check her out if you haven't already. These are some of the books that I've read, and I think, well, 4 of them are by Brene, and then I've got a couple here by Kristin Neff, who is an author I heard about through Brene's writing. Okay. So I do have some requests of all of you. Please go to participants and hover over yourself and then click rename so we can see your name. So if you don't actually have your name showing up, maybe it just says, I don't know, Galaxy 10 or whatever. If you could do that, just hover over yourself and then click rename so that we can see your names. And then I would love it if you would enable your video. That would be awesome, so that we can see some facial expressions and reactions, because that's always nice. So if you don't mind, that would be awesome. Have paper and pen ready, and then just relax, be fully present, pay attention, engage. All right. That's what I'm asking of you, and I hope that you will do that. All right. So our agenda today, first I want to go through some introductions. I want to know who you are. I will introduce myself to you as well. We're then going to define and describe self-care as self-compassion. And I have a few exercises to go through with you. Part 2, some very, basic self-care tips. And then we'll have some discussion, talk about how self-compassion and self-care relates to employability, believe it or not, and career success. Okay. All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you paying attention to what the agenda is and some of those requests. So as far as introductions, I'll go first. My name is Joyce Baker. I'm the lead career coach at Ivy Tech Fort Wayne, Warsaw. I was an Ivy Tech student, about 12 years ago, I guess. So I was a displaced. I didn't know my place, basically. I had worked for the United States Postal Service for 12 years. And during that time, I raised 4 sons. You see a couple of them in the pictures here. But I had always gone to school and taken classes while I was working and raising my family, but I'd never gotten a degree. So once I lost that job, I had to do something, right? And so I went to Ivy Tech. And that's why I am a big proponent of Ivy Tech. And I feel like it's a really great place to get going with your career. So I got an associate's degree in office administration back in, I think it was 2011. And I started working for the Career Services Department, which is now the CCEC. And I was a student worker. At the age of 50, I was a student worker. So if anyone out there is in my age bracket, it's never too late. It's never too late to finish your education. So I went to Ivy Tech, worked in career services. I transferred to IPFW. It's now Purdue Fort Wayne, but at the time it was Indiana University, Purdue Fort Wayne. Got my bachelor's degree in general studies with a minor in psychology. And then I went on to get certified as a career advisor, also a global career development facilitator. That's a mouthful. I can never remember what it is, but I have that. And then went through some intensive career coaching training. So that's kind of my education background, a little bit of my history. But here I am now, enjoying my life, and I really love what I do for Ivy Tech. I love talking to students. I want to tell you 3 things I love, and I'm going to ask you to maybe do the same if you don't mind. So I love the Upper Peninsula in Michigan. I was just there in September, and these are some pictures of that trip. I love my family. I have 4 sons and 11 grandchildren. So we have a lot of fun together. They really enhance my life. And I love to create. So I love to paint. I like to draw. Anything that's creative, I really enjoy that. Okay, photography as well. I love photography. So that's a little bit about me. Now it's your turn. I would like to know what Ivy Tech campus you attend, what you hope to learn through this workshop, and 3 things that you love. And when I say love, I don't mean like you love your spouse or your boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever. It's more like what you're passionate about, what you like. And we say, I love pizza. I love the sky right now, whatever. But 3 things you love. And I hope we can do this. All right. So I'm going to start with the first person I see, which is Thelma Jade Estelle. Is that right?
Yeah.
Would you like to share?
I love my middle name.
All right. I like it too.
I love communication and I love to sew.
Oh, very good. And what Ivy Tech campus are you from?
Oh, yes, in the Northwest region. Indiana.
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks for sharing that. I love your middle name too. I think it's really pretty. Wendy, would you like to share?
Wendy's a coach from another campus, so she might be preoccupied with something.
She might be. Okay, Wendy, that's fine. Tara. I'm sorry, Tara, but you have to share. Tara's my coworker.
I'm Tara, and I would say things that I absolutely love are being out in nature and collaboration.
Mm-hmm.
and I'm from the Fort Wayne campus.
Great.
And it was supposed to be 3, wasn't it?
Yeah, 3 things you love.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
And my family.
Okay. Thanks. Lisa.
Yes, ma'am.
Mhm.
Well, I'm from Indianapolis downtown.
Okay.
And what I'm hoping to learn from this workshop is what I can add to my resume and possibly get out there more than what I have been. And the
Okay.
3 things I love is shooting pool, because I'm
Ooh.
competitive.
Awesome.
And my mom, because I'm her caregiver, of course.
Yeah.
And then learning new things like machines. I want to work with machines when I'm done graduating.
Really? Oh, that's so interesting. Okay. Thanks, Lisa. What about you, Rebecca? Would you like to share? We can't hear you, Rebecca.
My name is Rebecca. I'm from the Fort Wayne campus.
Mhm.
And through this workshop, I hope to develop more skills in terms of branding myself out there, and also utilizing all the coaches, whether they're from South Bend, because I see all of them have different facades that could really be helpful.
Yeah.
And the 3 things I love personal devotion with the Lord. I love traveling, and I just love me time. As long as there's me time, I'm okay.
Nice. Oh, that's
Yes.
great. You could probably share some things with us about how to have self-compassion.
Well,
Thank you.
just look at yourself in the mirror, and if you love what you see, then that's what it is.
Oh, yeah. That's good.
Yes.
That's very good. Thank you.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. Mhm.
All right. Next, I believe we've got, 1 second. Christina.
Sorry, my space bar doesn't work sometimes.
That's okay.
So I'm I've been at the Elkhart campus, and what I hope to learn from this workshop is I've kind of been more into the self-love, because I do understand that, you know, in order to be good for anything, you have to be good to yourself. So
Right.
This is one that caught my attention. I definitely didn't want to miss today.
Okay.
And 3 things I love is family as well, nature, and also yours, the creativity. I like to, whether it's, you know, ways to make things easier, or art, music. In my household, there's 7 children.
Wow.
Some are my nephews and my niece, and some are my own kids, but you know, we're always trying to find different ways of making things work for us here.
Right.
So,
oh, I bet. Okay.
Yeah. I was really, really excited about your workshop today. So.
Oh, good. Okay. Thank you so much, Christina. I appreciate it. Thank you. Jessica, would you like to share? Jessica Hartman? It's okay if you don't want to. That's fine. Okay.
So I got my name's Jess. I don't like the ICA, my name. I don't know why. And I kind of agree with Christina on a lot of points about, you know, the self-love and the creativity of, you know, organizing and making things easier for now. But I'm at the Fort Wayne campus. My 3 loves are cleaning, organizing, and like crafty do-it-yourself projects.
Wow.
And
Nice.
I would like to, you know, just improve myself with the tools that are provided here, with like inner peace and a sense of belonging, or like a calling in life.
Right. Thank you, Jessica. That's awesome. You can, if you can clean and organize, then that's, come to my house. No, I'm kidding.
I'm doing it right now.
All right. Lorena, would you like to share?
Sure. All righty. I'm Lorena Ceballos. I'm one of the career coaches at the Fort Wayne campus. What you hope to learn today? Well, I hope to learn how to love myself more.
Mm-hmm. Good.
I love helping people, but sometimes I don't help myself.
Right, right. Okay.
3 things I love. Cooking, family, and traveling.
Oh, yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Thanks,
No
Lorena.
No problem.
Roger, do you want to share?
Hey, this is Roger.
Hi,
Can you
Roger.
hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've been in and out of the meeting, but I'm starting at the Richmond campus here next week.
Okay.
I was working for General Electric. I got laid off, and I'm going back to school.
Mm-hmm.
And the 3 things I love is my wife, my son, and my life.
Yeah.
What I hope to learn is some cool out of these workshops, some cool advice on how to present myself for my next job.
Okay.
And
that's great. Yeah.
So, I'll be starting up some classes.
Well, great. We're glad that you are, It's a great step. Very positive step. Thank you, Roger. Hannah, would you like to share? Okay, and that's fine if you don't. What, Luke, would you like to share? Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I bounce around between the Noblesville campus and the downtown campus in Indy.
Okay.
I don't know what I hope to learn from this workshop, but it seems I hope to get some good vibes from it.
Yep.
The 3 things I love to do. I noticed your son and your grandson were sitting on the 4-wheeler, and I got to say, pretty big 4-wheeler rider.
Okay.
I like riding motorcycles too. I like anything related to computers and tech.
Okay.
And I like talking to my friends whenever I get the chance.
Nice. Very good. Thank you. Thank you. Hannah, would you like to share? All right. Well, what about Stacy?
Sure. I'm from the Valpo campus.
Okay.
Learn from here. Well, I am studying, I am in your age group. I'm 46 and
okay.
I'm on my 2nd marriage. So I have 3 adult daughters and 1 adult stepson and 1 that's getting there, stepson, and a granddaughter. So this is my 2nd year of school and I'm going for elementary education. So I'm hoping that these workshops will help me through that.
Right.
Considering everything up here is all virtual. So I'm kind of worried about that, but I'm hoping to learn some things from these workshops to help me get into a real workforce instead of just working part-time little sales jobs.
Okay. Yeah. Right. I understand. Yeah, definitely.
3 things I love is riding motorcycles with my new husband, hiking, kids, and I'd say outside of all that would be photography. I've been huge about it since I was very, very young when a 110 camera was my
awesome. That's great. Oh, I love it. Yeah. Thank you. Jadrian, would you like to share? Okay. What about Eddie? Would you like to share, Eddie? All right.
Joyce, I've noticed a few people have been putting it in the chat. So Jadrian did just share Bloomington campus. Hope to learn how to be more gentle and loving towards myself. Love writing, reading, and laughing.
Okay, great. Thank you, Jadrian. I just don't want to leave anybody out. So we're taking time for this. Eddie, would you like to share anything? And if not, I can move on to Nicole. Would you like to share, Nicole? All right, Clay. Clay.
Clay was in the chat earlier.
Yep, Clay put in the chat earlier that
Evansville working on his car and working with computers, going out with friends.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much. All right, guys. I think we've got JD, Foe, and Becky next. So if anybody wants to, do either of you want to share anything as far as your introductions?
You hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. I will go to the Evansville Ivy Tech campus, though.
What was that?
I go to the Evansville Ivy Tech campus.
Okay, Evansville.
Yeah.
Okay.
Evansville, yes.
Very good. Very good. What are 3 things that you love?
Telescopes and stuff like that.
Okay.
Writing and building things, stuff like that.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, you're very investigative, it sounds like, and realistic as well. Okay. Well, I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate you being patient as we went through that, because I think it's important for us to know one another a little bit. Okay, so now I'm just going to take us through the presentation. All right.
Hey, Joyce, did you want me to share or not?
Yeah. Oh,
okay.
my gosh, Becky. Yes.
Okay, I'm Becky. I'm a career coach at Ivy Tech South Bend, but I'm actually in school again myself, and in my 50s, and finishing up a bachelor's in psychology and addiction.
Oh, awesome.
And in my psychology courses, some of them we talk, had focus on the self-care, which I found out was more important than I thought it was, especially during COVID. 3 of my passions, reading, writing, and my latest obsession is my daily walks listening to my latest Audible book of choice, which I found very good for self-care.
That's great, Becky. Yeah. I mean, those are key. A couple of those things are very much key to self-care. So thanks for sharing that. All right, so let's move on. The foundation of self-care is self-compassion. So maybe just put in the chat, when you hear the term self-care, what comes to mind? And I'm going to ask Tara to maybe help monitor that chat and just, I don't know, once we get a few of those in there, audibly tell us what people have put in the chat. So when you hear the term self-care, what do you think about? Okay. Anybody have something they want to say about that?
So we've got making time, being appreciative of yourself, compassion, setting boundaries from Nicole.
Okay. Yeah, those are all, things that I think about when I think about self-care. Let me go back.
Stacy said doing something that you love.
Okay. Yeah. Doing something you love. Just kind of one reason we talked about things that we love, because I think that's a big part of it. Let me get back here. So self-care is all about really self-compassion. It needs to be that needs to be the foundation of it, is what I would say. And that's something that Kristin Neff talks about in her writings quite a bit. A simple way to think about self-compassion is treating yourself as you would treat a good friend. So, for instance, if I were to say to my friend who came to me with a problem, say my friend comes to me and says, oh my gosh, I'm not getting along with my husband right now. I don't know what's going on. We're just not connecting. We're having trouble. If I were to say to her, well, what an idiot. I mean, how stupid can you be? Why aren't you getting along with him? What's wrong with you? That's not going to work, right? And so on the same token, if I were to be feeling that way myself, should I say to myself, you're an idiot? If I'm having trouble getting along with my husband, or maybe I don't know, did something embarrassing at work and I feel stupid about it, Should I berate myself? I wouldn't do that to a friend, right? So that's what I want us to think about. Treating yourself as you would treat a good friend. So the more complete definition of self-compassion involves 3 core elements: mindfulness, common humanity, and self-kindness. So I'm going to talk about those 3 aspects. Mindfulness as opposed to over-identification. We'll talk about that. Common humanity as opposed to isolation. And then self-kindness as opposed to self-judgment. All right. So mindfulness. What is mindfulness? Mindfulness involves being aware of moment-to-moment experiences in a clear and balanced manner. It means being open to the reality of the present moment, allowing all thoughts, emotions, and sensations to enter awareness without resistance or avoidance. It prevents us from becoming absorbed by and over-identified with negative thoughts or feelings. So you're aware of your feelings, but you do not over-identify with those feelings, especially if they're negative. So like, I may be feeling tired and I don't really realize I'm tired. I just know that I'm, I don't know, kind of distracted and a little bit grumpy. So if I'm mindful of how I'm feeling, I realize, okay, I'm tired. Okay, I know how to fix that, right? I need to get more sleep tonight. I don't want to over-identify with being tired because then I just constantly think about how tired I am. And I think I'm just this slug who's tired all the time, right? I don't over-identify with it, but I'm mindful of it. Okay, so now what I want to do next is do a mindfulness exercise with you guys, all right? So in many ways, mindfulness is a simple skill. I think I put skills instead of skill, because it just requires noticing what's happening while it's happening, using all 5 senses. For instance, take a moment to try focusing on what comes through the door of each of your senses one by one. And I am going to open my workbook, my Kristin Neff workbook. And I would like you guys to practice a little mindfulness, okay? I had my presenter notes, but now I don't have those. So that's okay. I think I remember what to do here. Okay, so if you would please just close your eyes. Can we do that? Just close your eyes. All right. And what I want you to do is focus as I take you through the steps. So close your eyes and take a moment to listen to the sounds in your environment. Let the sounds come to you. Notice what you hear, one sound after another, with an inner nod of recognition. There's no need to name what you hear, just recognize it. And now sight. Open your eyes, okay? And allow your eyes to have a soft, wide angle gaze. So you're not really focusing on any one thing, but you're just kind of gazing. And then note whatever you see, one visual impression after the other. Next is touch. Now close your eyes again and notice the sensation of touch where your body meets the chair you're sitting on or where your feet touch the floor. Notice that sensation of touch. Next is smell. Put your hand up to your nose and notice any scents arising from your skin. All right. Taste. Notice if there are any tastes in your mouth right now, perhaps lingering from the last thing you ate or drank. So not all of this is necessarily pleasant, but it's just being aware, right? Being mindful and in touch with what you're hearing, what you're seeing, what you're touching, smelling, and tasting. Okay, so that's one way to really get in touch with mindfulness. And it's very beneficial. It gets your mind off of the past and off of what might happen in the future. And you just focus on right now.
It's a really
Does
nice
anyone
exercise.
have any comments about that experience?
Yeah, I can see it being used to get yourself calmed down after a situation, like maybe where your senses are too heightened if you're either anxietal or angry.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you're right, Jessica, definitely. It helps with that. It's helped me a lot over the past 5 or 6 years since I've started doing this. It's helped me a lot and not get so stressed about things, especially the past.
Right. It doesn't take that long, which is
no,
awesome.
It doesn't. You're right. Thank you. Okay, so we have a second exercise. It's a breathing exercise. All right. So I'm going to turn to page 46 in my book that I want everyone to think about getting. It's wonderful. Okay. So this is called affectionate breathing. So what I'd like you to do is close your eyes again. All right. Find a posture in which your body is comfortable and will feel supported during this time. Then let your eyes gently close. Take a few slow, easy breaths, releasing any unnecessary tension in your body. So we're going to take some slow, easy breaths. If you like, try placing a hand over your heart. Okay. This is called affectionate awareness. Begin to notice your breathing in your body, feeling your body breathe in and feeling your body breathe out.
And their dog bowl must have fallen down.
Notice how your body is nourished on the in-breath and relaxes with the out-breath.
You got like trash on your patio they threw down.
Joyce, you're muted. Joyce.
Joyce, honey, you're muted.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know I was muted. So we're breathing. Feel your whole body subtly moving with the breath, like the movement of the sea. Okay, you're breathing in, breathing out. Allow your whole body to be gently rocked and caressed internally by your breathing. Now, gently release your attention on your breath, sitting quietly in your own experience, and allow yourself to feel whatever you're feeling and to be just as you are. Slowly and gently open your eyes. Do you feel more relaxed? Anyone? I know I do.
I do.
Okay. So that is really helpful. Being able to just relax, be mindful of all of your senses, and then breathe. Breathe in and breathe out. All right. Did you enjoy that? Good. I think some of you did. Thank you. All right. So that's something you can do anytime of the day. All right. And that's mindfulness. That's the first step in self-compassion is mindfulness. Now, the second step is to understand common humanity. So the fact is, no matter what you're feeling right now, you're not alone with that feeling. So a sense of interconnectedness is central to self-compassion. It's recognizing that all humans are flawed. We are all works in progress. Everyone fails, everyone makes mistakes, everyone experiences hardship in life. Self-compassion honors the unavoidable fact that life entails suffering for everyone without exception. And while this may seem obvious, it's so easy to forget. You know, we fall into that trap of thinking that things are supposed to go well and that something has gone wrong when they don't. But things don't always go well. They're not supposed to always go well for us, okay? It's common humanity that we are experiencing when we experience pain, suffering, or stress. So the point of this is don't let yourself feel isolated and alone in your suffering or in your stress, your pain, whatever that might be. And the third part of self-compassion is self-kindness. So when we make a mistake or fail in some way, we're very likely to beat ourselves up. Like I was saying earlier, we might say something like, "Oh, you idiot. How could you have done that? What were you thinking?" But self-kindness counters this tendency so that we are as caring toward ourselves as we are toward other people. You know, many times we're more caring, we're kinder to a stranger that we see maybe in the store than we are to ourselves. And I mean, it's good to be kind to strangers, but at least give yourself as much kindness as you give a stranger, right? And I'm hoping that we will be as kind to ourselves as we are to our best friend.
Yeah, Lisa says in the chat, it's easier to take care of others than it is ourselves sometimes.
Yeah, Lisa, that's so true. So true. Thank you for sharing that. So there are some things that self-compassion is not. It is not self-esteem. It is not self-pity. And it is not self-indulgence, okay? So self-esteem is more about, you know, feeling really good about yourself, knowing that you're talented maybe, or I don't know, you're pretty, you're smart. And so you have high self-esteem based on these things about yourself. Self-compassion doesn't depend upon how good you are at certain things. It's all about really caring about yourself. It is not self-pity. So it's not where you're, you know, poor me, I've gone through so many horrible things in my life, and so I really feel bad for myself. That's not self-compassion. And we want to really avoid self-pity. And it's not self-indulgence. So self-indulgence might be, you know, you've had a bad day, and so you come home and you just binge watch something on TV and you eat a whole quart of ice cream. So that's like self-indulgence, right? Keep in mind that self-compassion is going to lead to a healthier, beneficial situation for yourself, not a situation where you've eaten too much or you've drank too much or whatever, you know, it's not self-indulgence. Okay, now it's time for the paper. So what I would like you to do is take out a sheet of paper and a pencil or a pen, and we have an exercise. So how would you treat a friend? First, think about times when a close friend feels really bad and is really struggling in some way. How do you respond to your friend in this situation? So I want you to write down how you would respond to your friend, or how do you respond to your friend when they're struggling? Write down what you typically do, what you say, and note the tone in which you typically talk to your friend. So I'm going to give you about a minute or so to write that down. I like what Jessica said in the chat about recognizing your inner voice as your inner child self. That's very good. That's awesome.
My grandma was a super lady.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool. Okay. I'm going to assume that maybe most of you have written down your answers. Okay, so that is how you would respond to a friend. Now, think about times when you feel bad about yourself or are struggling in some way. How do you typically respond to yourself in those situations? And please write down what you do, what you say, and note the tone in which you talk to yourself. Okay. Is there a difference? So if there is a difference, ask yourself why. So what factors or fears come into play that lead you to treat yourself and others so differently, if there is a difference? And then please write down how you think things might change if you responded to yourself in the same way you typically respond to a close friend when you're suffering. How might things change? So what might happen if you start treating yourself like a good friend? What might happen? So before we move on, would anyone like to share some of the answers they had to those questions?
I think I might respond to myself with grace instead of shame.
Oh yeah, excellent. Yeah, grace for yourself.
I think the more that you do that, self-compassionate talking to yourself like to your childhood self or to your friend, the easier it gets, and then your tough times don't seem so tough.
Yeah, yeah, very good. I think that's really true. I will say, you know, one of mine, because I grew up in a fundamental evangelical Christian home, which there were a lot of great things about that, but there were also some things that I had to really unlearn from that upbringing. And so I've learned to say to myself when I'm feeling, you know, down on myself, you're okay, you're not bad, God doesn't hate you. And I'll say that, God doesn't hate you. Even though I was taught that God is love, yet I kind of grew up feeling like he hated me and that he was disappointed in me. So, you know, whatever your view of God is, you know, my view was unfortunate. It was very negative as far as feeling like I wasn't accepted. And so my mantra has been, God doesn't hate you. You're okay. You're not bad. You know, so I would never talk to a friend and say, oh my gosh, you know, you're horrible and you're not acceptable. I would never say that to a friend. So why would I say that to myself? And it totally changes the way I view everything when I change the way I talk to myself. I'm sorry. I think, were you trying to say something, Chukwemeka? I'm not sure if I even said your name right. I'm sorry if I didn't. Okay. Okay, guys, I have another exercise. So this is a self-compassion break. What was that? Is someone talking?
Of course, what is happening in Nigeria? If I go watch, I go to anything I watch. I wish I knew initially. I go buy granola. I think the worst mistake I'm desperately okay. There's potato.
Okay, I'm not sure.
Yeah, you can mute. I don't think Marvel's yeah.
Okay. All right. That's fine.
Hello.
So what I would like to talk about now is just an exercise you can do very quickly. If you're feeling stressed, if you're feeling unsure about yourself and feeling kind of down on yourself, it's called the self-compassion break. So you would think of a situation in your life right now, think of something that's difficult, that's causing you stress. Call the situation to mind and see if you can actually feel the stress and the emotional discomfort in your body. I could think of COVID actually right now that causes me stress, just thinking about COVID, because there have been a lot of exposures lately to certain family members, and I get stressful thinking about it. And so being aware of that, now I would say to myself, this is actually a moment of suffering. This is a moment of stress for me. You know, maybe suffering isn't the word you would choose to use. You might just say, this hurts, or ouch, or this is stress. Okay, so you're aware of how you're feeling. That is mindfulness. Next, admit that this is a part of life. Not everyone, I mean, everyone actually is probably dealing with this right now when it comes to COVID. So I'm not alone, and other people feel this way. We all struggle in our lives. So admitting that, recognizing that common humanity. And then put my hands over my heart. I feel the warmth of my hands and the gentle touch of my hands. And I say to myself, may I be kind to myself in this situation. You might also ask, what do I need to hear right now to express kindness to myself? Is there a phrase that speaks to you in your particular situation, such as, may I give myself the compassion that I need? May I learn to accept myself as I am? May I forgive myself? May I be strong? May I be patient? Whatever phrase helps you to show yourself kindness, okay? So let's just talk about this one more time. This is a practice you can use any time of the day or night to help you remember to evoke the 3 aspects of self-compassion when you need it most. Remember mindfulness, common humanity, and self-kindness. All right. Part 2, we have 10 minutes and it's not going to take long. All right. Now that we have that foundation of self-compassion and how to bring self-compassion to ourselves, let's talk about some practical activities that involve self-care. Okay. This is a list, and I'm sure that you all have your own lists that you could probably put into the chat as I'm talking about these. I would like it if you did, actually. So I'm going to go through these quickly. If you have some self-care tips of your own that you'd like to put into the chat, please feel free to do that. All right. So good sleep. I mean, we see a baby sleep and it's like, oh my gosh, that's so wonderful. I wish I could sleep like that, right? But sleep is so important to us. So it's highly suggested that you have a sleep routine. Make sure that you go to bed, you know, at a good hour. Don't have a TV in your bedroom that you're watching as you go to sleep. Don't look at your phone. Try to have it nice and dark in your room, and try your best not to have caffeine before you go to bed. That can help you to get better sleep. So good sleep is very important. Exercise. That word is almost scary to me because when I was in my 20s, I did like a 2-hour-a-day workout at a local gym, and I mean, I was into it. I was obsessed. And it doesn't have to be that. It can be, but it can be as simple as, you know, doing some yoga at home or stretching. But some type of physical exercise is important for self-care. Eat healthy foods. So healthy foods are so important for brain function, for energy, you know, vegetables, fresh vegetables. Lorraine is on here. She could tell us all about healthy foods because this girl eats healthy. I work with her and I know. So healthy eating is very important for self-care. And then saying no. You know, when you've got so many people wanting you to do so many things, you have to sometimes just say no. And that is actually a form of self-care. You don't have to give a reason, just say no because no. All right. Take a trip. This can be done maybe on just a weekend or maybe a Saturday, take a drive, go somewhere, go to Michigan, go to Ohio. I mean, we live pretty close to a couple different states. Go to a national park, go somewhere where you can just kind of relax. Don't have to spend a lot of money. You can go camping, or just not even stay all night, but just go for a day trip. So that can be one form of self-care. Go outside. So this is something I did this past weekend. And this picture reminds me of what I did, because I was outside with my grandchildren and we went for a walk through just a field near my house. And we ran and we laughed, and it was just so much fun, right? Just breathing the air, observing nature. That is a very great way to take care of yourself. This is my dog, Roscoe. And he is crazy. But bringing a pet into your life can really do a lot for self-care. I mean, they love you unconditionally. They bring you a lot of good feelings. You can spend time with your dog, your cat, your hamster, your lizard, whatever you've got, you know, and they make you laugh a lot of times too. Okay, organize. Something about looking at this office up here that's not organized just kind of makes me feel stressed. But then when I look at this one, you know, the same office, but it's organized, and it just kind of makes you breathe easy. So when you organize your stuff and maybe get rid of some of your stuff, it can really enhance how you feel about yourself, and it is a form of self-care. Tara can probably attest to that one because she's Little Miss Organization in our department.
Joyce, we have got some great comments in the chat of ways of self-care. And so Rebecca said to have devotional time and the word and meditating. Lisa said going for a walk every day at Fort Bend State Park, and AA meetings at least 2 times weekly.
Good stuff.
Going for a walk for even 10 minutes.
Yep.
New Age teaching. Listening to cool music and meditation.
Right.
Writing in her diary. Jessica said remembering, you know, saying no, and that sometimes even means to yourself.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Let's see here. Write down in her diary. Yep. Powerful saying no. Just going to a quiet place. Having a healthy diet, sleeping, cup of tea, and reading a book.
Yeah. Those are good.
Those are all great.
Yeah, they are. Thank you. Those are wonderful. I knew you guys would have some good ones. So.
And this actually sparked something, an idea in me too. Like we go through the daily grind of like brushing our hair or fixing our face. Those two can be
right.
Self-care. Like we can make it intentionally. Oh, I'm going to use the fancy soap today.
Yeah.
Self-care.
Yeah, Jessica, I was talking about that with Joyce earlier today. I don't normally do my makeup every day, and today I did my makeup just to feel different and to feel nice and give myself some me time.
Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff, you guys. And this is why I have this bottle of lotion. It's one of my favorite brands, Hemp's. And so I have this in my bathroom, and it's practically full because even though it's there, I don't use it that often. And I think I'm just hurrying up, getting ready for work, and I just like, oh, I don't have time for that. But lately I've been trying, since I've been working on this presentation, I've been trying to remember, okay, self-care, take a minute just to put on some lotion, right? And it smells good and it feels good. So, you know, yeah, little things like that can be self-care. Okay. Thanks for sharing, you guys. That's awesome. Good stuff. I learned a lot just from hearing what you shared in the chat. Another thing you can do is cook for yourself. I know that we don't have much time. A lot of us are so busy and don't cook for ourselves. But even if you do it just like one night a week, maybe prepare, think about a recipe you want and go buy the ingredients and just like prepare this meal for yourself. That's taking care of yourself, right? Like if you had children that you were taking care of, you'd probably fix a meal for them. And a lot of you probably do. Fix a meal for yourself, cook something, okay? And then read a book. That's something that will, not only are you reading a book, but think about it. You're sitting somewhere probably that's comfortable. You are relaxed. You are not looking at your phone. You're not looking at a screen of any kind. You're looking at a book. So you have to slow yourself down a little bit and just breathe and relax. Read a book, okay? And then lastly, the last one I have on my list is guard your time. So if you do reserve any time for yourself and you're really intentional about it, guard that time. With everything you've got, guard that time, because someone's going to want to take it from you. I guarantee it. But you have to be really kind of protective of that time. Doesn't mean you're selfish. It just means that you know what you need and you're going to make sure you get that. So that then you can be there for other people, but you have to first be there for yourself. Okay. So we don't have much time left. You did share your self-care tips, and I appreciate that. The last thing I want to say is, this is career camp. So we're talking about careers. I'm a career coach. How does self-compassion and self-care affect career success? And I would say it affects it because if you are compassionate toward yourself, you're definitely going to have a much more embracing, engaging manner of communicating with other people. You'll be much more positive, much more self-confident, much more apt to put yourself out there for different opportunities and willing to be vulnerable because you're not afraid of that. You're not living in shame. You're living in a state of grace, right? So you're going to be much more gracious to other people. And that will definitely affect how you present yourself, even in a job interview. It's going to change the way you present yourself, the way you feel about yourself when you're interacting with coworkers, with your supervisor, with a potential supervisor. It's going to really make a difference in your entire life. So because your life is enhanced by that self-compassion, your career will also be enhanced by that. So I just would like to recap, okay? True self-care must begin with self-compassion. We've all known people who engage in self-care activities, but they really don't love themselves. I've known people like that. So self-compassion is the foundation for self-care. When we treat ourselves with the same kindness and care with which we would treat a cherished friend, our mindset begins to change. We are mindful of how we feel and of what hurts. We understand that we're not alone in our stress or pain. We begin to treat ourselves with kindness. We can then engage in self-care activities as a natural result of caring about ourselves as we would a friend. And this leads to success and fulfillment in careers and life. All right, so that is the presentation. I do want to see if there's anything in the chat that I should maybe address.
Yeah, we have quite a few comments in there just about self-care. And one says, I have a lot of hair. I'm a good hairstylist, so I don't even joke with it. Take care of yourself.
Yep.
Keep a positive attitude. And upbeat from Lisa also helps when you realize you're in a bad situation professionally. If you're mindful of how you're feeling, how the job or class makes you feel. That's from Jessica. And then guard your heart. You can make better decisions about your career planning. And Lisa said, it's why I got out of pharmacy and into an AART degree.
Oh,
absolutely.
Good for you, Lisa.
I love it.
That's awesome.
I love it.
And especially women in manufacturing and STEM is such a huge topic of discussion right now. So I really, just you specifically, Lisa, use that to your advantage. I think there are tons of resources and like scholarships and stuff, especially for that work.
Yeah, Lisa, that's awesome. That's incredible. Yeah, we don't see enough women going into AART, and I love it when I see that. So good for you. Good for you. All right. Well, thank you everyone for being a part of this. And I hope you have a great evening. Yeah, the recording and the PDF will be available at some point. So thank you, Roger. All right.
Thank you.
We'll send out an email tomorrow morning. If you RSVP through that Google form, you'll have the links to the last day's events, culminating it with a fantastic employer panel and a speed networking event where you can practice all the skills that you've learned over the last 2 days with us, as well as a couple of professionals from local businesses in Indiana. Okay.
It's gonna be awesome. Thanks, everybody.
Perfect.
Thank
Sounds
you.
good.
Thank you. See ya.
Thank you guys. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Well, that was fun.
Great job.
Thank you.
Really nice job.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I just think it's
Chuck
very
is
important stuff.
Chuck is asking what's the next meeting. When is the next meeting? Believe tomorrow.
Yeah, tomorrow at 1, I think, right? Yeah.
Alrighty. All
Okay.
done.
Thanks for your help, guys. Appreciate it.
Thanks. You're welcome.
Yeah, no problem.
Okay.
You guys did the best.
Yeah.
At first, I couldn't even be in camera when I was when Tara was presenting. I had a towel in my hair.
That's the best.
I decided to
love
dye
it.
my hair during lunch.
Good for
That was not a
you.
good idea.
I was hoping you dyed it purple or something. I know you said you dyed your
Right?
hair.
Yeah, but no, it's just I don't like dyeing my hair. I hate it. It's just because I have gray. I have so many
Yeah.
gray hair,
Yeah.
but I don't enjoy doing it. So I'm like, my hair needed to be dirty. When I read the instructions, I'm like, really? So it needs to be today. I cannot sleep with this oily hair tonight.
Aw,
I love it.
that's funny.
Yeah. So I was like, yeah, I'm here, but I have a towel. I have a towel on my hair.
You're funny,
Anyway.
Lorena. You look good.
Thank you. I hope this grades don't show for like a long time. I hate doing this process.
Aw.
It gets all over. It's a whole mess. There's a lot of black spots on that bathroom. It's annoying.
That's
That's
no.
funny.
Yeah, I've got some
So
I need to
anyway.
put in my hair as well, but whatever.
Yeah, but you guys did a great job. I like it. Yeah,
Thank
I learned
you.
a lot.
Good.
Good,
Yeah,
good.
I thought Tara's yours was great. I mean, so clear. Everybody got a lot out of that. That was
So many people there. 46.
Yeah.
a lot of people.
Yeah, yours was about 22.
Yeah.
It went down 22, 20, 22, 20. It was like that type all the
Right.
time.
Yep.
But it's amazing to see how the students transfer from one meeting to the other one. Like they want to keep going.
Mhm.
That is so nice.
It is amazing.
And I was
I don't know why
thinking,
we've got 2 people in the waiting room.
Because I moved them.
Okay.
oh,
Because they either weren't paying attention or whatnot, so I moved them.
oh, okay. And in your presentation, Tara, I was able to unmute people. So